a little bit noisy outside. They are renovating part of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. We are at January 2022. Difficult for me to say 2022. I'm not used to it yet. And we are visiting the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. I just heard that more than 37 people got the virus in Israel yesterday. In the last 24 hours, then the situation here is, how should I say it, so-so. The vaccination is helping, but not so much. Then I'm trying to be as far as I can from the people, but I must take videos for you because it is my mission. I'm celebrating two things, actually three things. The first one, my daughter's got to be 17 years old this week. The second thing is that I'm not working. From next week, I will celebrate 2 years without any tools. And the next celebration, the next one will be of one of our subscribers who bought himself the Jerusalem cross, and I will bless it to him at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Then it's such a beautiful church. There's so many things to talk about, and let's start doing it. And I hope that I will reach my house safe, because it's not obvious today, I must say, that the church that you see is not from the time of Jesus. Then before you will ask me how can it be that Jesus was crucified, died, buried and resurrected in a church, then he didn't. The church that you see here is from the 4th century, but what you see around you now is mainly from the 12th century. Why 12th century? 11th and 12th century? Mainly because the church been destroyed a few times. But if we are talking about the crusaders, then it might be that the facade that you see in front of you is from the crusader time. Some say that actually it's from 11th century or the end of the 11th century. But I want to show you a beautiful mosaic that survived here from the crusader time. For that we would have to climb up to that chapel, which is closed. It's a group of students, Israeli students, that's studying about the church. And let's climb up. לא קר לך?
מה?
לא קר לך ברגליים?
לא.
He's wearing sandals. I felt a little bit chilly. Alright, I don't know if you can see something, but look above the arch. Look at the cross. Dave there. Let me see if you can see something. Yeah. You can see the gold and the mosaic. That is from the crusader time. And we'll talk about the chapel soon. Another part of the mosaic. Let me see if I want to fall. Can you see that arch? That one? At the lower part of it, you can see white color. And that white color is a plaster. And beneath the white color, it looks like gray. It's another part of the mosaic from the crusader time that left here. I will show you later on another part of the mosaic, but if you're talking about that chapel, which is difficult to see now, but this is the Frank chapel, and you cannot see a lot of the painting there. The painting is about the 3 Marys that actually were watching the crucifixion. I will show you the mosaic. I mean that chapel from the other side. But now let's walk down with the idea that I might fall. Then let's pray that I won't fall. But look how beautiful it is. Oh, it's so nice and hot here. You can see some graffitis, ancient graffitis on top of the columns. Here, I can show you one of the columns that used to be in the corridor in the main street from the 4th century. Then it's like a mishmash. You can find here things from different times. And that's Anastasia. That's the one who, because of her, I know a lot about the art. And someone asked me about who painted it. The idea in churches is that people want do it because they are famous. People are not coming for the church because of the art. They're coming to the church because of the church, because of the story. Although a lot of the painting and the mosaics are not so well known, from time to time you can find the name of the one who did it, for example, right here. But it's usually no one that you must know, no famous artists are here. In a way, they are choosing a non-famous artist just because of it. Now let's climb up, Dave, to the crucifixion place. With the cross, we're entering from the Catholic part. What do you mean Catholic part? Is that church not a Catholic church? No. That church belongs to almost everyone. All right. This is the chapel that we saw from there. And beautiful mosaic. This is new, but at the other side, it's from the 12th century. It used to be a door, but it been blocked at the time of Saladin. That used to be an entrance to the Golgotha from outside, from the stairs that they used. But now, as you can see, you cannot do that anymore. And before Anastasia will start to talk, let me show you another crusader mosaic. And that is the Ascension of Jesus. Now the church is all about crucifixion, resurrection. The Ascension is not connected to that part, but it actually shows you what will happen to Jesus next. That in that chapel, Dave, Jesus was nailed to the cross. Here it is in front of you. You can see Mary, the mother, and Mary Magdalene anointing the legs of Jesus with horn hair. She is the only one, if we're talking about art, that you will be able to see the hair of her. Look at the mother, and look at the other, usually cover. Here you can see John, and you can see another thing, that the crucifixion place was outside the gate. And everyone knows it. And one of the things that they're saying about their church as not the real church is that it was It was built at the Times Square of Jerusalem. You must understand that the church that you visit now is, we are visiting now the church 2,000 years after Jesus was crucified. In that case, think about your city 2,000 years ago, if it actually exists, wasn't look like that. Then it might be that it is from the time of Jesus. Another beautiful art is an altar that was built for the anointing stone by the Medici family in Italy. You see the name of them right here. But the problem is that that church belongs to everyone. Greek Orthodox, Catholic, and Armenians, and they didn't accept the idea that the altar would be a Catholic altar at the place that belongs to everyone. In front of you, you can see an amazing structure from Portugal, 16th century, of the mother and the spear in the heart, and that's happened when she was at the temple, and Saint Simon told her, "You will see your son dead in front of your eyes." From that moment, she never smiled, and look at her face now. But the most important part here is the crucifixion place. And that belongs to the Greek Orthodox. Here, you can see the Golgotha, Dave. And it's covered with glass to avoid people like me to take some souvenirs from it. You can see even the evidence for the creek. Remember, he was on the cross at 3 o'clock when the earth shook, just like it actually shakes today in Cyprus and Israel. Another reason to be afraid. To the right, you can see John the disciples. When Jesus was here on the cross, the only disciples that was with him were John, the beloved one. And Jesus asked John to take care of his mother. Look how beautiful is the sky with the full moon, stars, and the angels, sad angels that are taking care of Jesus. The exact spot of the crucifixion is in front of you. You can see the crucifixion place and the two others that were crucified with Jesus. But the exact spot is right here at that table. And we're going to bless the cross, and the minute we're doing it, it's actually priceless. Let me use the flashlight, and I want to show you that that is the bedrock, and I cannot put the cross in it, but I can put my hand in it. On top of Jesus' cross, you can see 4 letters in 3 different languages. This is Jesus from Nazareth, King of the Jews. Yeshua HaNatzari, Melech HaYehudim. We're going to leave the chapel through the Greek Orthodox part. Look how beautiful ceiling. There's a work of art. But everything that you see here is not so old, because that church been burned down in 1808. The only old version of the mosaic was the one that I showed you from the crusader time. You can see the nailing of the cross in front of you. And so many other scenes from the crucifixion and the agony of Jesus the last 2 days of his presence in Jerusalem. We're leaving the Golgotha now through the Greek Orthodox exit. You look at this beautiful mosaic that we know that it's not so old. We saw the 1990. We actually visit the crucifixion place, the Golgotha, the Calvary, and then they purified his body. Why they purified the body and why it was at the same day? The Jews have been buried at the same day, and Joseph of Arimathea, concealed with a white beard, and Magdalene with a green maroon, they actually asked from Pontius Pilate the body, and they wanted to bury him at the same day. Now, it means that Joseph of Arimathea had amazing power, because it's not so easy to reach Pontius Pilate. We know that he was a Jew, but he was secretly devoted to Jesus. Then he decided to give Jesus his own tomb. And another thing that we know is that his tomb was close to the Roman place that used to be owned by King Herod, and he used it as a quarry, and this is the Golgotha. And then when King Herod died, people used it as a burial site outside the city. You can see the walls of the city again, outside the city. No one denied it, although now it's at the Times Square of Jerusalem. Then later on, they purified his body and they put linen on top of it, on top of him. You can see John, and you will recognize John because he's the only one without a beard. And Magdalene and Joseph of Arimathea. You can see the nails of Jesus right here. And always think about the agony of the mother. And you will recognize Mary Magdalene because she is touching the hair of her. Then this is the place that they purify the body of Christ. And guess what? Here it is. And you can see that everyone who reach here will bless everything. For example, the coat, although it's oily. I'm not sure that this is the best thing to do. And I will do that the same thing for Dave. Then I will go for the other side. Oh, the smell. I wish that you could smell it. And Dave, when you will get that cross, please smell it, because some of my subscribers who got a cross told me that they actually could smell the oil. Priceless, priceless, priceless. The next part of it is the tomb itself. Now what you can see here is cave. They put him in the cave, and 3 days later he actually resurrected. If you want to talk about art, and we talked about the non-famous people or artists, and for example here, you won't find the name of the one who did it, because the one who did it was an Israeli guy, Jew. And later on the church didn't like that idea, but if you really want, his name is Anski. Anski. We are at the Armenian chapel. According to the Armenian, the ladies, the women, saw the crucifixion from there. Then Dave Smith. This is the tomb. I cannot go with a cross into the tomb. Well, I can go with a cross. I cannot take a video of it, but I promise to take a video, to enter with a cross after I will say goodbye. Then I will bless it there as well. And we're expecting to see a cave. And you're right. The only problem is that the cave does not exist anymore. The cave does not exist because it's been destroyed so many times. If someone didn't like the Christians, they destroyed it. The Romans did it. The Persians did it. The Muslims did it. Then the structure that you see here is from the 19th century. And remember the fire of 1808, the wooden dome fell down, destroyed the structure from the 12th century. Then what you see here is from the 19th century, and a few years ago they even renovated it as well because it was built so quick. And you know what's happened when you're building something too quick. The tomb itself includes two parts. The first part is the angel chapel. So you can see the light of the candle. The angels took care that no one will steal the body of Jesus. And the second part is the tomb himself, the sarcophagus, which is totally empty. Remember what's happened 3 days later on Sunday. Let us continue, and I want to show you that church was out of the gates, and that will answer so many rumors about it. Usually I'm getting 1 or 2 responses a day about how dare we. The church that we are visiting is not from the time of Jesus, which is true, but the site might be yes. And they are talking about another site outside the gate, which is an amazing site. The Garden Tomb, I just came from it. I took 2 videos of subscribers who asked me to do that. And this is indeed another option for the tomb. It's outside the gate. It's in the central park, which is very important because there's a reason why to bury crucify people outside in a special place. Remember? The idea is that you will study from it, you will know what to do. But Jews have been buried outside the walls. Another important thing to know is that King Herod used it as a quarry to build that temple. Then in that case, a quarry is never inside the city. But here, in that poor, I must say, very poor chapel, look how it looks so bad, and this is such an important place for the Christians. Look at the chapel. It's not a church. It's an altar. There's a debate between so many Christians about who owns and who. Then they have a lot of problems here between the Syrianic church, the Armenian, even the Copts. I'm not going into it, if it's okay by you, but I entered to here. I entered to here because of that. This is a real tomb from the time of Jesus. Now, if King Herod died, no one paid salary for the one who used the quarry, then they left it. And, you know, if you're leaving something, something else will happen. Then in that case, people started to be buried. People been buried here. It was easy. It was already curved. Then in that case, here you can see a real tomb from the time of Jesus. You can see 2 niches, 2 kuchim. There are, I think, 5. But if it's okay by you, I don't want to go in. What they used to do is they buried the people there, and then if there are 5 kuchim, niches here. Then what will happen to the sixth one is got no place. Then they will open the old kuch niche, and they will take the bones out. They will put it in a small ossuary, and then they will bury someone else. And that is why, when the book of John mentioned, Jesus got a tomb that no one used before, you can understand that idea now. Because that one used so many times. Now, that one that you see is not less than the 4th century of wall church. We are talking about Constantine times, St. Helen. Amazing. And you can see there's a lot of holes around here. That was to hold the marble that covered the walls at that time. And here you can see too many, like a forest of holes, because that was a very important place. It was decorated with, let's say, gold, good stones, and the rest. Then what is that tomb? Is that Jesus' tomb? No. Jesus' tomb is outside, but if Jesus got a tomb of Joseph of Arimathea that no one used before Dave Smith, then in that matter, I'm sure that Joseph of Arimathea, if he gave Jesus his own tomb that used to be there, then he built himself a cemetery for his family. It might be Nacdiminus and Joseph of Arimathea tomb in his own garden that was next to the crucifixion place. And that's why everything now is in the same church. But the church, let me remind you again, is not from the time of Jesus. It's from the 4th century and up. Let's see if the Catholic chapel is open, then we will enter. But if it's not, I will show you where it is. Yes, it is. Inside the chapel I won't be able to talk. But here you can see where Mary Magdalene met Jesus. This is where Mary Magdalene actually stood. And that is where Jesus stood on Sunday. Did you see my Lord? Did you see my Lord? She asked the gardener. Here he is. Here I am. She recognized his voice, but don't touch me. I didn't reach my Father yet. Beautiful modern chapel. And the rumors say that they are going to change it. Let's enter to the Catholic one and I will be quiet. No one prays you, then I can talk. Those that place leads to another gate that is sealed. It's called Mary's Gate. And you can still see the nativity. And this time, not like 4 days ago, you can see Jesus as a child that was born, and Jesus as the King of the world as well. Beautiful nativity scene. The Christmas tree is not here yet already. I think the Christmas tree here left us at January 6th. And the decoration, Christmas decoration is gone too. That Greek Orthodox celebrated Christmas a few days ago. Different calendar, different days. You can see the Via Dolorosa stations together with the resurrection. See the resurrection and the tomb, the Pietà, Mary with the spear in the heart. the crucifixion, nailing to the cross. All of them we saw in that church. Let's continue, Dave. Until we will continue, please subscribe my channel. I'm not working for 2 years now, and for me, you are my family. You are my tourist. Then you can ask me whatever you want. You can write me whatever you think. I will be more than happy to help you. And look how beautiful it is. Different kind of columns, different kind of times. Crusaders, 4th century columns. It's mostly from the 11th century. They actually, when the church been destroyed by the Muslims, they started to build it quickly. And you know what's happened when you're building things quickly. And then the second part of the 11th century and the 12th century, they had lots of money and they renovated it in a better way. A prison of Christ, prison of Jesus, belongs to the Greek Orthodox. They are renovated lately. You can see here the eagle with the 2 heads, the Caesar and the Patriarch working together. That's the idea of the prison. You can understand what they did to him. He was sitting, his legs were in the hole, he was tied with his hands. Jerusalem in heaven. It's right there. And I don't know if you can hear the muezzin now. It's a Christian church, but you can hear the muezzin of the mosque outside. There are more chapels. There's so many things to talk about it. Greek Orthodox chapel, Armenian chapel. Another chapel of the Armenian and the Catholic is down there. The wall to the right is 11th century, the wall to the left 12th century. Lots of stories and mysteries here. That's where they found the true cross. According to the Greek Orthodox, that's where they mock Jesus. Talking about the Roman soldiers. He was sitting here on that column. And Dave, we made a round tour, but it's not the end of the tour. Then stay with me, please. You can see the rock, the lower part of the Golgotha rock, the crucifixion place, the Calvary. And we were above it. That's a crucifixion place. The second floor, you can see here the creak of the Golgotha. Remember, the earth shake, and some tears of blood fell into the ground, and the book mentioned that so many people resurrected. According to tradition, Adam was one of them, Adam and Eve, the first man ever. The Bible didn't mention Adam, but the Bible mentioned that people actually resurrect. Here, some crusaders, kings were buried, but the Greek Orthodox didn't mind about them crusaders, and Greek Orthodox doesn't go together. When the crusaders came here, they killed a lot of the Greek Orthodox. And just beneath the wall that you see that was built in 1990, you could find more of those tombs of the Crusader kings. Then Dave, that was your tour. For the rest of you, please subscribe my channel. If you want me to buy yourself a cross and to prepare a video for you, then go into the link of Buy Me a Coffee. It's at the description of that video. And if you won't find it, just write me a message. I will send you the link. This is an Armenian monk that lives their church together with me. And look at the two birds. The birds are really trying to enjoy their pigeons. Well, there's no success today. Then I will send you the link and you will be able to know how to do that. It was a pleasure to be with you, and please, please, please write me something. I will be so happy to see you again in my next video. I have more than 19,000 videos at my YouTube channel. You can find so many things, and we will say goodbye to the church together with the 4th century column of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre and the Jerusalem cross of Dave Smith. See you in my next video. Bye bye.